BruCast is back, baby.
The only difference between those who make it and those who don't is that those who make it don't give up. It's the only difference. If you keep doing it, if you love it, baby steps, trying to improve it, you're gonna get there. It's just a matter of keep doing it, because most people, for some reason, whatever, you probably understand this more than I do. Just give up.
Yeah, because when would you like give someone the stamp that says you've lost, defeat, you've failed and it's done? Like when would you do that? Would you do that after not getting as many leads as you wanted to? No, you'd learn from that and then you'd try and do something else or do more to get more leads. Okay, but then maybe you're a failure. You should stop when those leads aren't converting. No, you just find out why they're not converting, right? Learn their objections, try to work around those. And so it's like, when have you lost if you don't stop, right? If you just keep having some kind of feedback loop, like obviously don't continue running into the wall and then just doing the same thing. But oftentimes there's some kind of feedback loop, right? If you're talking to 10 people and nine of them have the same objection, obviously there's a feedback loop that you can then leverage to do something better. So I truly believe that if you don't stop, when can you say that you've lost? When can you say that it's over? So I like that quote. I like that TikTok quote you got there.
Man, I love it. How do you know if you lost if you don't stop? That's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So passion for achievement. So what was your motivation behind passion for achievement?
Oh man, I'm gonna go into my personal story then because I can't explain it any other way.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, so I was very, very off track in life in my early teen years and then kind of moving up in my teens. I had some death in my family and kind of pushed me off track. And so I stopped concentrating in school. I was there, and I was there maybe like 3 times per week. When I did show up, I arrived too late. I would go home too early. I just couldn't really be there. Um, I would start hanging around the wrong crowd. I would, at a very, very young age, start drinking, start partying, start having sex, start smoking, all these things. We're talking like 12 years old here. And yeah, I'll just continue down this path and it just grow worse and the drugs got more intense and people started showing up that were involved in like really bad stuff and I was just so off track, man. My mental health was terrible, my physical health was terrible. I was really going down a bad road. In fact, I share this realization, this story here. I was at one point I was at like a summer vacation home with my friends, and we were sitting in a circle. We're just having fun, drinking. Some of them probably doing some drugs, and we're just having a good time. And one of them came up with this little fun game where we should all of us should guess how old we thought we were gonna be. So someone said, I think I'll be 85 years old. And the next person said, I think I'll be 92. And it was my turn to answer, and I just completely killed the vibe because I just, with a stone cold face, I just said 21. And they're all like, no, come on then. What are you talking about? I said, no, there's no way that I'm making it past 21. Like, I just don't see a scenario where I'm going to be 23 years old or 25. I don't see it. And that scared all of them, obviously, but also scared me a lot because I kind of knew, but saying it out loud like that, I realized, man, I have a mother, I have a brother, I have some childhood friends, I have good people. I gotta turn this around. So either I'm gonna continue down this route and just not be here for a long time, or I'm gonna turn things around. And if I choose to turn things around, I'm not gonna build a mediocre life. I'm not gonna build a tolerable life. I'm not gonna build something where I'm fine. If I'm actually gonna give life a real shot, then I want everything. I want all of it. I want the career, I want the finances, I want the health, I want the powerful relationships, I want everything. I will build my version of a world-class life. And so that's fortunately I decided to go that route. And I'm a very obsessive person, so when I commit to something, I do it a lot. And so I started spending all my Christmas and birthday wishes on personal growth books. I got a job as a cashier where I was working 10, 11 hours per day. At night, I would oftentimes work as a dishwasher. And just everything I made, I was still living at home, so everything I made, I just poured that into personal growth. Books, courses, seminars, eventually conferences, stuff like that. And yeah, I started really fixing my life. I started feeling better mentally, physically, I started being more productive, I started working hard, I started seeking out better people and or better relationships. It was just very clear that my life was getting better. And so in this journey of trying to build a world-class life and trying to build something for myself, I realized personal growth was going to be the primary thing that was going to do all that for me. And another thing that was going to be huge was entrepreneurship. This thing called entrepreneurship, it just kept showing up. Everyone I was learning personal growth from was an entrepreneur, and every entrepreneur I admired did really well, personal growth wise, and then had books on that as well. And so I just kind of saw a connection. Once I saw that, I started experimenting with entrepreneurship as well. So that's why I bought the domain. I started just sharing some of the things, personal growth wise, that I'd learned and that worked for me. And I didn't step out and say, I'm an expert, I have 40 years of experience, listen to me, I'm a guru. Nothing like that. I just stepped forward and said, look, I came from here to here, and a lot of what I bought and read and studied didn't work for me. But these couple of things right here, they worked. And I shared them in free Facebook groups. I shared them by creating like, small videos, writing articles, stuff like that. And people started actually getting a lot of value and started asking for more and more and more. And then over time, that became what Passion for Achievement is today. And now I've really gone all in on that combination of personal growth and entrepreneurship because now I also have experience and results as an entrepreneur. So now I can specifically help entrepreneurs and freelancers and people that are in control of their time as I am and have been for a long time. So that's how it came to be.
Man, that's outstanding.
Thank you.
Wow. So, do you know what happened to that crew? Just that you used to
I
hang
do.
out with? Yeah.
I do. Um, One of them was just sentenced to 12 years in prison. He was and this was pretty scary. He was actually in a scenario, I think like an hour from where I live, where after that, him and like three other people that I don't personally know, they were actually wanted. I'm not making this up. They were actually wanted in the entire country with their photo and full name and everything. They fled to Turkey. I'm not kidding. They fled to Turkey, and me and my friends, you know, from back then, we kind of knew where they were. It was so scary, and now he decided to come back home and actually turn himself in. He didn't want to be on the run, but that was I'm pretty sure that's going to be 12 years at least. I know someone else who is doing. He's doing. I don't know if I can say that on the podcast, but he's doing
Don't say anything that you will regret, man.
Yeah. I know, but he's very involved in drugs still, and it's just not doing well. And that's it's just whatever you thought their story was going to be is exactly what their story is. And so once in a while, I'll catch up with them just to make sure because I have known them my entire life just to make sure they're good, and also kind of I think kind of to remind myself of how far I've come and also how powerful that decision back then was.
Yeah.
So, but they're not a big part of my life. I have some absolutely incredible friends that are, you know, 4 times smarter than me, and every time I'm with them, I'm just, dude, I just get so inspired, and every single time I spend time with them, in some way, shape, or form, I'm a better person afterwards, and I love that. So
Yeah, surround yourself with the people you want to become. No, I'm fucking the quote up. How was it again? Like you become the 5 people that you hang out with the most, right?
100%, yeah.
Yeah. Whew. So there was this turning point in your life that you realized, when are you gonna die, and then you thought 21. That's when. How old you thought you were gonna die? 21, right?
I thought that was the oldest I was gonna be.
Yeah, there was gonna be, and I was like, no, that's not a life that I want, and that just lights the bulb, and that was a turning point. Wow. Yeah.
By the way, I apologize for if I'm going into too much detail. I just, once I start opening up all that stuff, I just want people to know the story and to know why I'm so passionate about what I'm doing, and yeah, I just think that story is a pretty important part of what I'm doing and why, and yeah.
Yeah, it's powerful, and this is move people, right? If you're honest about your story and it's a powerful story, this is inspiring. I don't know where I saw it, but like someone said it. The people who hit the lowest are the ones who achieve the most or are most successful in life, because they just see like my life. They reach the turning point, like you said. So yeah,
Yeah, and also I think a lot of the skills that you need to learn to get out of some place bad and turn that into something good.
yeah,
You learn things like having thick skin. You learn things like having a clarity or an idea about how to change things in your life. If you've never really truly looked at your life and said, okay, I need to 180 this thing, then you don't have that skill. I think hard work is something you learn if you come from the bottom and work yourself up. I think a lot of lessons and insights and all these things that you learn. I think that's why you hear a lot of people go from, like you said, the bottom and then come up. Also, a lot of people start on the bottom and stay on the bottom, right? So you gotta really pick which one of those you want to be.
watch full episodes of the BruCast on the main YouTube channel, youtube.com/@brewfrasca.